First things first, I would like to preface this video with the fact that if you bring your animal to a butcher or a meat processor, the odds of having a blowout like this are significantly decreased. I've never had a blowout with an animal like this that has come from a processor. However, this buffalo was put down by the owner at their ranch, and this was the result. I noticed the damage almost immediately while removing the hide or skinning the animal. While removing the meat, I was able to salvage almost all the pieces. Some of the pieces were simply blown too small or away, into like dust or shrapnel. After removing the meat and containing all the pieces, I degreased and whitened the skull as I normally would with any other skull. Now in this picture, you'll see the bones reassembled. As you can see, I was able to reassemble about 90% of it utilizing glue and other adhesives. The pieces that were gone are just gone. Now, when I reassembled it, I could not get all the bones to lay perfectly symmetrical to the other side of the skull, the undamaged portion. They sat up just slightly higher. I'm not sure why, but I just couldn't get them to lay down all the way. In this photo, you'll see the solution I came up with. I used a product called Epoxy Sculpt, which is essentially a clay. It's used in taxidermy and many different applications. I filled in and smoothed the seams where the pieces were connected, and on the right you'll see where I essentially recreated a bunch of bone, raising that side of the skull just slightly to match the repair side. It's not ideal, however, I thought that the sides being symmetrical would be a lot less noticeable than if one side is raised up higher than the other. To finish all the adhesion, I textured the epoxy sculpt to the same texture as the bone, as bone is not completely smooth. If you look closely, it has a little bit of texture to it. After it dried, you'll see the painted repair here. I use a paint that is literally called bone white. I put it on the repair area heavily, then fade it out into the natural bone color on the rest of the head. After it dries, I put several coats of clear matte on the entire skull. This not only seals the painted repair, but it also seals the rest of the bone to protect it from dust and whatever other residue might build up on the customer's wall. So when they do go to clean it every year, the dust and buildup won't leave any dark spots. It'll just wipe right off and you'll have a perfectly clean skull. Lastly here, you'll see the final product on the wall. The customer was thrilled. I told her about the damage right after I skinned it. However, she wasn't expecting a full repair, so she was pretty happy. Regular jobs are a lot of fun, but I like challenging myself with ones like these. So if you have a skull that you're not even sure can be completed, feel free to reach out and we can figure it out. Thanks for watching.